All right now.
Patrick Mahomes is basically God playing quarterback.
Live!
They want it. They want it.
Now, when it's grim, be the Grim Reaper. And go get it.
That's a different cheer right there, baby.
Yeah, we're not having a snowball fight.
He'll get handled when he gets handled.
We're going to try to tickle your tonsils on every play.
Touchdown! Kansas City! One of the greatest duos in the history of the National Football League. Patrick Mahomes to Travis Kelce. Do it live!
Let's go!
Sorry. You gotta fight for your right to party!
Howdy, Chiefs Kingdom. It's Wednesday. It's 8 o'clock. It's Chiefs Kingdom Live. Thank you so much for joining us. If you would, real quick, before you forget, make sure to click or tap that like button and click or tap that subscribe button. Maybe tell a friend, tell a family member, tell some Chiefs fans. Help spread the word. We'd really appreciate that. Got a good show lined up for everybody tonight. Super Bowl is over. The Seattle Seahawks are somehow Super Bowl champions this year. Weird year. We're going to talk about that game. I don't know how long it'll last because there wasn't a lot to talk about in that game. But and then we're going to talk about Chiefs offseason. I guess officially started at the end of the regular season, right? But NFL offseason is underway. We're going to talk about what the Chiefs need to be looking to do here and turn the ship around, right? Get right the ship for the 2026 season. Before we get into it, no Bo tonight. It's just Nick and I's ugly mugs here talking to you. Nick,
Sorry.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just, recovering from that exciting Super Bowl that we all were subjected to. But no, otherwise, yeah, things are good, man. I got my my basement all put back together. We had a girls' slumber party over the weekend, and so we had to kind of clear out the basement. But I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying this unseasonably warm weather here in KC, and I'm looking forward to the draft and free agency coming up. Chiefs got some wood to chop this offseason, but I believe they'll get it done. Super Bowl LX, Super Bowl 60 in the books. That's got to go down as one of the more boring, lame, disappointing, I don't know what word you want to use to describe that Super Bowl. I want to say at halftime or getting close to halftime there was like more punts than first downs and points in that game. Two teams, the Seattle Seahawks, deserving champion. They skated through as the one seed in the NFC and easily handled the New England Patriots, who I think it was the schedule. Now that we look back on it, maybe a little bit. Just a weird year in the NFL, man. Like when you got Sam Darnold and Drake May in the Super Bowl, there wasn't really any great teams this year.
Yeah.
So you got to have a Super Bowl every year. God, NBC has to be like asking for some of their money back. Do you do partial refunds?
Right.
But there's Kevin showing up in here. Yeah, I agree. Snorefest, Kevin. Nick and I watched the game together there, and especially that first half, man, there was just nothing happening. We talked about this. So many, not just punts, but 3 and outs and boring 3 and outs where it was just running for a yard or two on first and second down, and then a short pass for no gain and a punt. Seattle was able to at least creep into field goal range a couple times there in the first half. But Nick, just overall thoughts on the Super Bowl?
Yeah, look, I think I agree with you there. It just lacked offense, and it wasn't necessarily. I mean, so there was some great defensive plays, right? So I'll definitely say that, especially in the Patriots secondary, they kept the Patriots in that game a lot longer than maybe they had any business being in that game. But other than that, it was just really kind of like poor play, except for Seattle's running game. It was just really not like I felt like. I think I put this on X, but it's like, has there ever been a Super Bowl where both teams walked away and were like, maybe we need a new quarterback? You know what I mean? Like, like you're just in the Super Bowl, but you're walking away being like, I don't know if we got the guy. So, and I just, just bad throws and just kind of lack of explosive offense. Just it was a very meh Super Bowl. Just not a lot of excitement there. Good commercials. I mean, the commercials are more entertaining than the Super Bowl. So,
yeah, commercials made a little bit of a comeback this year, I thought.
Yeah.
After several down years, really, in my opinion, as far as Super Bowl commercials go. But and not only like you didn't have any like star power outside of the quarterback position, right? I mean, even if you look around, I know JSN, right, the wide receiver for the Seahawks. Led the league in receiving yards, but he didn't really do much in that game. And Stephon Diggs, he had his patented no-show in a big game. I mean, there was just nothing, man. I mean, as far as teams, there was no like it factor there. There was no star power on the offenses, definitely. I guess maybe you could say there's a couple of really, really good defenders for both teams. Both teams had really, really good defense this year. But I think you saw like a product of offense being down, especially this year. But the last couple of years and defenses kind of taken over, I don't – there's probably it's always probably more than one thing that drives that. I think personally – having the shortened preseasons and shortened training camps and the decreased number of like full padded practices the last few years, I think all that stuff favors offense. And so I think the offensive side of the game has been kind of hurting from some of the practice rules and the changes and whatnot that they've gotten in the collective bargaining agreement. But no, like real high flying offenses, right? I want to say like the Patriots, they were like the number one scoring offense in the NFL this year. And when you watch that Super Bowl, I think that's like an indictment on offense as a whole. But defense was definitely the story of that game. How impressed were you by it was the Seattle Seahawks pass rush that really won that game and really carried them to a Super Bowl championship, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, it as a diehard Chiefs fan, it kind of gave me, a little bit of flashbacks to last year with Patrick Mahomes just getting, the O line just getting creamed and really just Drake May just having no time, right? I mean, it's just like literally just no time. I think did he end up getting sacked 6 times?
Yeah, 6
in that
sacks.
game. Yeah, so 6 sacks and just pressured, I think, on 23 dropbacks or some crazy number. It's just that like kudos to that defensive line for being able to put that much pressure for that long against the the Patriots. Really just, I mean, there's this legitimate point in time where I was like, I mean, like they might actually get shut out in the Super Bowl, like it didn't look like they were. Yeah, well, it didn't happen, but just because of where the score was and stuff, I didn't think that they would start like, lightening up and playing prevent or anything. So,
yeah. Impressive defense, really. Everybody was crapping on Drake May. He definitely did not have a good Super Bowl performance. But when you mentioned the pressure and his turnovers were really what led to the only excitement, really, of the game anyway. So, I mean, I feel like people should be thanking Drake May because without his turnovers, I mean, that led to both Seattle's touchdowns, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was the interception he threw, and then I don't know. I think I've seen that got ruled back and forth from a sack, fumble to an interception, like 2 or 3 or 4 times that Seattle returned for the other touchdown there late in the game that really just put the nail in the coffin for the Patriots. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. You see this though every so often, right? I feel like every 10 to 12 or 15 years, you see a defensive battle and you see like a Joe Flacco or a Trent Dilfer or a Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Darnold, he's one of the storylines, right? Drafted by the Jets in that highly acclaimed quarterback class that had Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield in it. I don't gamble. I don't have any of the apps or anything on my phone, but I don't know what the odds would have been to bet Sam Darnold to get a Super Bowl championship before any of those other guys would have been, but you probably could have won quite a bit of money. Nick, you mentioned, you kind of joked during the game or after the game when we watched the man, Vikings got to be kicking themselves for getting rid of Sam Darnold, watching him go win the Super Bowl with another team. Sam Darnold, what do you think? I mean, do you see the Seahawks sticking with him and giving him like a deal? Is this winning this Super Bowl? Is that something that's going to get him a payday, whether it's on the Seahawks to stay or on another team? Or do you think NFL GMs and the league kind of looks at this as like they did it once and he was able to do it, but that's like probably not high likelihood of being repeated with him as quarterback.
Yeah, like a Trent Dilfer situation.
Yeah, like I was just saying, like.
Yeah. Look, I think that they'll make him an offer. I don't think he's going to get like top end money. But it's tough. Like he didn't have a very good game, really. I mean, and to be honest, like it was looking like he was trying to force the ball too much and it was going to result in turnovers early. So, he did calm that down and but he, missed a for sure touchdown just with an overthrow. And I know he's getting pressure there, but I think they'll make him an offer. Super happy for the dude, like to go from the I'm seeing ghosts out there guy, which I can't believe that they played that on TV, to be honest. Like I kind of disagree with that network that put that up there as that Monday Night Football or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, you say it on the sideline. I mean, you got to know cameras are on you, but
I think there's a lot of things that get said on the sideline that we never hear.
Well, probably cursing is one of them, but I mean, they're not going to give away trade secrets or like they're not going to put coaches talking about strategy audio on there. But yeah, I that's not like that big a deal.
So to go from that to winning a Super Bowl, kind of funny, it's him and Drew Lock now have a ring.
Right.
So, super happy for him. He'll probably get some kind of contract extension in the, I'm guessing like $30 to $35 million a year range. But Super Bowl money now, or quarterback money for these top end quarterbacks is pushing like 50s to 60s, right? Yeah. So I think that he'll probably get like a mid-tier contract offer. And I don't think that the Seahawks are probably under any illusions that like they couldn't have done that with another quarterback. You know what I mean? As long as there was like competent play. So,
right. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, would you give Sam Darnold a contract extension? Would you pay him $30-something million a year for the Seahawks? It's a tough spot to be in, right? Because I mean, the guy just won you the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Helped you win the Super Bowl. He mentioned some of his tight window throws, forcing the ball in there. He missed a pick six by millimeters there. So it was that first or second throw of the game. I think the coaches kind of probably got to him after that first drive where he was trying to like thread the needle in there and saying like, man, look at the defense. Don't screw this up. You know what I mean? Just you don't need to do that.
Bunker ball, right? Like let's just like take what we can get. We don't, run
the ball, run time, let our defense keep giving us multiple opportunities. But yeah, I mean, would you pay Sam Darnold? Would you keep him on the team?
No, to be honest, no. I mean, look, I may give him like a 1-year offer or something while we try to figure out quarterback situation. Yeah. But like drafting Patrick Mahomes cured me of the paying mid keys I mean, especially retread, mid QBs. Like the Chiefs tried that for seemed like, 2 decades, right? And it just didn't it was the thing that held the Chiefs back. Like you got to keep swinging until you get a guy, in my opinion. It's tough because there's not a ton of them, but I think that you just got to keep trying. The thing that's not tilted in their favor right now is they're going to be picking last in the draft, right? So getting a quarterback is going to be a tougher proposition. So I think that they do need to try to, fill that, position for the next year or two while they try to figure that out. But I wouldn't be looking at giving him, like a 4 or 5 year deal worth, $50+ million a year. I mean, I definitely wouldn't be doing that because he's definitely not what's driving that team. It's being driven by their defense and their run game. So,
yeah. And even the run game, Kenneth Walker, Super Bowl MVP. Congratulations to that guy.
Well deserved.
I mean, yeah, he's an exciting player, but I mean, he didn't score a touchdown in the game, and he had 140 whatever yards it was rushing, but I want to say it was on like 27 or 28 carries, something like that. It wasn't like he was out there averaging 7 or 8 yards a carry or something, and was just.
He did have a long touchdown that was negated by penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to count that. I mean, it got negated by penalty. I mean, but. Yeah, man, if I'm the Seahawks, like you said, you're in a tough spot because now you're picking last in the draft. And I don't know if this upcoming draft class quarterback is like super heavy, but if you're Sam Darnold, you're not, maybe it depends on, well, not maybe, it definitely depends on what other offers you might get from other teams.
Mm-hmm.
But are you taking a 1-year deal if you're that guy? To me, he's got to be like trying to like cash this in and get a 3 or 4 year deal with a payday. So
I'm sure that, his agent will be looking at other offers. So the deal is he's a free agent now?
I believe that's the case. Someone could fact check us at home on that, but I want to say they brought him in. It's like the Vikings had
they'll know, 1-year deal. Right? I mean, they'll know he's not under contract, so they'll be able to entertain what offers and see what other teams out there are willing to pay. I'm sure that there will be a team with like that's being mismanaged that'll probably offer him maybe more than the Seahawks, but I don't know. I mean, there's also the thought of like, well, the guy like won you a Super Bowl, and like what does that do to your team? What message does that send to your other players if then like you like throw that dude out on his ass after he just won you the Super Bowl,
Right.
So maybe there's some thought there as to why you'd want to keep him. But I mean, look, I just think that everybody knows he's a known quantity now. He's been in the league long enough. Happy for the guy that, he won the Super Bowl, but everybody knows he's not going to be mentioned in that tier of quarterbacks with, Patrick and Lamar and Josh Allen and, Joe Burrow, right? Like he's just not going to be Matt Stafford. He's not going to be in that echelon of quarterbacks, and so they can't pay him like that because otherwise, the team is going to tank here in a couple of years when that contract starts whittling away at their roster.
Yeah, he's like I said, it's an interesting position to be in. The guy just won a Super Bowl, but at the same time, I don't think, and the Seahawks can't be under any kind of illusions that he's like a top 10.
Right.
I mean,
what would you do? What would you do if you were the GM?
Man, I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Seahawks, I'm thinking I got to improve at the quarterback position. I don't think that you can look at him and the entire body of work and say, oh, he's a guy we can count on, like carry us to the Super Bowl over and over and over and over. Like I just don't see what they did or what they did being very repeatable or sustainable. I also don't think you're going to get an opponent like the Patriots in the Super Bowl very often. They cashed their chance and they took advantage, and there's been a lot of teams that won the Super Bowl like that. But man, I don't. I just don't see Sam Darnold as like some guy that's going to continue to win you 14 games like every year. I know he did it back-to-back years this year, but his playoff run was okay, but not great. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there another Sam Darnold guy out there like that you bring in for a year? That's a really interesting spot to be in there. So, and if you're the Seahawks, you take it, obviously, win the Super Bowl, and then be in a tough spot, and have to figure out your quarterback who he's just like you said that he's not in that like upper tier, and that seems to be the exception the exception to the rule, right? When you see, I mean, you probably like the last 15, 20 Super Bowls. I mean, all of the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks outside of him are Brady, Mahomes, Ben Roethlisberger, guys like that, right? Like top upper echelon quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, those types of players, Hall of Fame quarterbacks, which I don't think anybody is picturing, even with a Super Bowl championship. Sam Darnold is a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Well, what do you think? I mean, here maybe so. Where would you compare him to Jalen Hurts?
I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback, especially when you.
I agree too.
You add in like the scrambling aspect.
Definitely performs better in championships
of it. The Vikings, like we were just talking about, they had Sam Darnold last year, and he won them 14 games, but then he pumpkined in the playoffs and lost them the game. So, if I was the Seahawks, I'd be looking at getting better at quarterback, and I would not give him some big contract extension, like you were saying. I wouldn't give him some 4-year extension because I don't think that they can really repeat what they did. And I mean, if you pay the guy a 4-year deal, I mean, and he goes back to being Sam Darnold of old last year, or your defense, ball and bounce your way a few times. We were talking about this before the show came on, and there's like discussion online about, well, the Seahawks, when you look at like their point differential for the year, they're one of the best Super Bowl champions of the past 10 years or 25 years this century. And it's like, I mean, they were a choke job by the Rams away from being a wild card team. And not that you can't win the Super Bowl as a wild card team, but if they don't blow that game on Thursday Night Football, and that was week 15, week 14, I think we're talking about a completely different story. And I don't think you're looking at Sam Darnold. I think you're looking at that as they're definitely wanting to move on from that guy. But congratulations to the Seahawks. Got it done. And there was a lot of 49ers fans, obviously a division rival. I saw online saying, really? Like, we got Mahomes Dynasty Chiefs in the Super Bowl twice, and the Seahawks get the fucking Drake May Patriots?
I saw that, and I was just like, oh, how cool is it that they're talking about our guy?
Right, yeah. Looking at the other side here, the Patriots won 4 games last year, played one of, if not the easiest schedule like in NFL history. That's not exaggerating. That's not hyperbole. You can look it up and compare it historically, how easy it was. Drake May, he's on a rookie deal. He's not going anywhere. I mean, that's their guy. Obviously, the pressure and the lack of protection did him no favors. But when you start digging into his numbers, too, even from like this year, especially when he played better defenses and played better competition, highlighted by the playoffs and his numbers in the postseason. I mean, what do you expect out of the Patriots? Regression year next year? I mean, how much of this season maybe was fool's gold? How much of this like Super Bowl beatdown do you think kind of exposes them, or maybe do you think maybe it's not as bad as it looked in the Super Bowl for the Patriots moving forward?
Yeah, look, I think that just like people are very quick to try to say this is one of the best, teams to ever in the history based on these metrics that I found, people are really quick to trash and throw away people when they don't perform well. I think that, look, do I think that the Patriots are going to repeat as AFC champions next year. No, I don't think they're going back to the Super Bowl next year. But I do think that
you think they're a playoff team next year?
I think that they're going to be a playoff team next year because regardless of the teams that they played, like Drake May, like played well, right? I mean, he played well. Like, so they've got to shore up some things on their offensive line, I think. But really, like if you look at it, like Mike Vrabel was able to take Ryan Tannehill to the AFC Championship game too. So like I think that they have a good coach. I think that they have a good ownership team for their team. I think that they have a good core group there, and I think that they're going to be like a decent team. I think that they're maybe looking at a wild card next year, but I mean we'll see. Well, there's a lot going on. I mean the Bills are totally up in the air, right? So what's going on with their organization? So the Patriots could repeat as division champs too. I mean it just.
Yeah, they get the Jets twice.
Right. Yeah, I get to play the Jets twice.
Still get to play the Jets twice next year. The Dolphins, they got the new coach. But, I mean, they got some playmakers, and the Dolphins weren't like a playoff threat this year, but they also looked better towards the end of the year. So
now the Patriots had one of the easiest schedules in NFL history, but the Bills' schedule is only 3 games different.
Right.
So, I mean, it's the 2 division people that finished where you did. So they did play 2 division winners on top of that. But then there's like just with that one extra game that they threw in there. But everything else, like it's all the same games except for when they play each other. So, I mean, I think that like, I think we should consider that. Like, do we sit there and think that, the Bills are trash because they didn't, get to the AFC Championship game and didn't win their division with mostly the same schedule?
Right.
No. So I think that it tracks, in my opinion, that they'll regress, but I don't think that they're going to like fall off a cliff like we've seen with some other teams like the Commanders, right? Yeah. You think you seen a cliff?
I mean, the Commanders were a game away from the Super Bowl, right?
Right.
And then now Jade Daniels got hurt and missed a bunch of games, so that's really, really hard to judge what I think. I mean, I expected a regression out of them to begin with, but it's hard to tell. Like when you lose your starting quarterback, as we know this year, right? I mean, Chiefs were 6-11, and a big part of this because Patrick Mahomes got hurt. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes does get hurt, I think they come back and win that Chargers game, and then I think they win those last 3 games of the year. I think they beat the Titans and the Raiders and the Broncos at home on Christmas night with Patrick Mahomes. I think you're looking at a 10-win or 11-win Chiefs team if Patrick Mahomes stays healthy. So, I could – I don't know if falling off the cliff's the right term to use, but I can see the Patriots playing a little bit different, a little bit tougher schedule, and I could see them – we've seen this before, right? It's called the good old Super Bowl hangover. Yeah, especially with these teams that jump up kind of out of nowhere and make a Super Bowl is kind of like a shocking Cinderella type story. And then the next year they kind of go back to what they were before. And I don't think they're going to be like a 4-win team like they were last year. But I mean, I think I'd probably pick the Patriots to win maybe like 7 or 8 or 9 games next year. Maybe 10, if the ball bounces their way.
I was going to say their over-under is probably like 8 or 9.
Yeah, their division makes it easier, but you don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. And you also, the Bills, man, like, if I'm a Bills fan, I'm worried that Josh Allen's another year older. He's a guy that depends on his legs a lot. And you've seen this last year and a half with him, man, like the turnover tendencies are back and the fumbles and the interceptions. And so, I'm probably looking at the Patriots to be like a 9-8 kind of team next year. I definitely don't see them winning 13 or 14 games again next year like they did this year, but you never know. Drake May, you think this Super Bowl performance, think that shakes him moving forward? Is that something that could kind of crush a young guy's confidence?
Potentially, but I do think they have good leadership in the building, and I think that makes a difference. I hope not. Like, I think that he's a young man. He seems like a pretty good dude, and like you don't want to see anybody that get crushed in the biggest moment of their life and have it like haunt them. So I think that I think he'll be okay, right? Will he win an MVP? I mean, it's doubtful, right? I mean, but I think that you saw that he has enough of the tool set to develop there. And he's only a second-year player, so I think that get him another season or two with McDaniels and Vrabel and that system, and I think you're going to see him be a decent quarterback. I don't think you're going to see him fall off a cliff or start turning into a turnover machine or anything. So they got to give him some help though. That offensive line did not look good.
No, and they're using the old injury excuse now, even though these guys weren't on any injury reports. It's like, man, you're going to risk fines or penalties from the league to like make excuses for getting your ass kicked in the Super Bowl? Like, is that worth it? I don't know, man. But now it's like, oh well, Drake May's shoulder was hurt, and that left tackle they had, he had an injury, and that's why he sucked in the Super Bowl. Big Doug, definitely one of the worst. I mean, when you have 4 turnovers in one playoff game.
What do you mean, man? Bills fans been saying that we got robbed of him being in the Super Bowl.
They did.
Sure, he didn't even make it to the championship game, but
if they would have been in the Super Bowl. Look, man, if they would have called that interception a completion, they definitely would have gone on and beat the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Oh, Bills fans, definitely.
Man. Right? Listen, like, I get it. Like, Bills fans, like the Bills to me remind me of like the 90s Chiefs, right? Like, win a lot of regular season games. I know the Chiefs never had what would be considered a franchise quarterback, but you feel like you're one of the teams to beat and you win a bunch of regular season games, and then it just does not translate into postseason success, and not making the Super Bowl is extremely frustrating. But I mean, you didn't even win your division. I don't see how you could be sitting there talking like, oh, well, yeah, if we would have just, if they would have made the right call, we would have beat the Broncos. And then, we definitely would have beat the Patriots, who we split the regular season with, to go to the Super Bowl, and then definitely beat the best defense in the NFL. I mean, I don't think that's.
I think they're I would compare them more to like the 2000s Chargers with Phillip Rivers when he was young.
Yeah.
Because they would light up the regular season, light up the scoreboard, and then just wilt right in the postseason. Funny enough, both teams that we just mentioned were coached by the same guy, so
Seahawks won a Super Bowl with Marty Ball, something the Chiefs could never do. I mean, average quarterback play and very good defense and running attack. So
it can't happen. It just doesn't happen very often.
Right. One of the more, this football season, obviously, as Chiefs fans, was disappointing because Chiefs didn't even make the playoffs and have the 9th pick in the draft this year. But just, overall thoughts on this year's NFL season. Down year for the NFL, a little bit of a – I feel like they keep saying, well, parity is what makes the league. Parity is what makes the league. I don't think you're going to see much more parity in many other NFL seasons this year. And to me, even outside of the Chiefs, like, not being what they have been in the past and having a kind of like a fluky, weird down year, to me, overall, the NFL this year was not as exciting, just kind of blah, and no really great teams, just some good teams and then a bunch of really average to bad teams, right?
Yeah, I agree with you, right? Parity is good if it means that all the teams or a lot of the teams are good, and they're like, it's like hair's breadth away, average teams, somebody else winning, right? But when it's like most of the teams are average to below average based on what we're used to seeing in the NFL. I agree with you. It was a very forgettable NFL season all around, right? None of the sports superstars really performed or were kind of in it towards the end, unless you want to, count Matt Stafford, which he's had a lot of success, but I wouldn't say that he's like one of the superstars of the NFL. Maybe, it's just AFC fan primarily, but yeah. So I think a very down year.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of great quarterback play either this year. I mean, Patrick Mahomes was really, really good. I know a lot of people say he regressed this year. If you look at what he was working with, he did not have much to work with this year. I mean, no running game at all. Was dealing with number 1 and number 2 wide receivers either being injured or suspended for large stretches of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line a little bit maligned. You saw injuries. I mean, when you look at we talked about that upper tier of quarterbacks, when you talk about Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow and Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Matthew Stafford had an MVP season, but Joe Burrow missed most of the year with injury. Lamar Jackson missed a significant chunk of the season with injury. So, yeah, definitely like a down year. And I'm not going to call like a changing of the guard or anything, right? You get a couple of these premier quarterbacks stay healthy. Give Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the guy's just. I don't think it can be understated just how bad his running game, the Chiefs' running game was this year. It was just.
No, did you see that chart that was circulating?
Pathetic,
when they put Isaiah Pacheco on it, he was off of the graph.
Yeah, it was. Whew, man, it was bad. So. Yeah, just kind of which, hey, and maybe being spoiled Chiefs fans. I mean, maybe if you're a fan of a team that struggles, maybe this year was awesome to you because you felt like your team had more of a chance than they normally do. I don't know, but usually you have 2 or 3 of these really, really good teams. Yeah, I mean the Rams were pretty good. Seahawks were pretty good. I mean Matthew Stafford had an MVP season.
49ers were pretty good.
Right. I mean, I still feel like if the Rams don't choke that game away to the Seahawks, I think you're probably talking about Matthew Stafford and the Rams being in the Super Bowl for the NFC. I don't think the gap or the difference between them and the Seahawks is all that much.
Right.
I think again, Matthew Stafford. I mean, I'll pick Matthew Stafford led team over a Sam Darnold led team, pretty much any Sunday, but they both got 1 ring now, which is, man, I think if you go back and watch our NFL preview show, I think I picked the Seahawks to win that division, but I don't know that I picked them. It's like a Super Bowl team. I thought they would be improved, but yeah, kind of came out of nowhere a little bit. They didn't make the playoffs last year, right? Patriots and the Seahawks both. Were out of the playoffs last year and in the Super Bowl this year, which kind of just sums up, right? That's kind of like a perfect little microcosm of this NFL season. So definitely one to forget for the Chiefs Kingdom and us fans here in Chiefs Kingdom. Off season coming up, man. What do you want to see the Chiefs do most when we're looking at the draft and free agency coming up here in the next few months?
Yeah, you saw what a good run game can do, right? For an average quarterback, they got to get Patrick Mahomes some help with a good running game. And Big Doug saying any guesses about what they're going to do? I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, there's people talking about free agents. Look, I don't think the Chiefs really have the capital to spend on a free agent running back that would be kind of worth pulling in. I think that not that running backs are a dime a dozen, but I think that you can get, decent people in the second, third round. So I think that, I'd just like to see them swing in the draft on a running back that can get, some of the pressure off of Patrick, help him with play action passing, and then maybe pulling some of the guys, the defenders forward to open up some of the things a little bit further down the field. So, I mean, that's really what I want to see. It's what I wanted to see last year. And so I think that, they'll have that focus, and EB being a running back, ex-running back and himself and a running backs coach, I think that you'll see a definite improvement there next year. So, that also I'd like to see us go for one more wide receiver, right?
Yeah.
I think that Rashee Rice played okay. But I don't think anybody would say that he was great when he came back.
No.
And so I would like to see us continue to try to upgrade at that position. We've got a top 10 draft pick. If we could get a top 10 wide receiver and hit on that pick, I mean, that's in the next 4 to 5 years of Patrick's career having an elite wide receiver, with Travis Kelce being, looking like he's going to come back, but probably being his last year. Or maybe one more year. I don't know how much he has left in the tank, but he's definitely not that number one, receiver in the league that he was. So if they could get somebody there. So, I mean, I think that those are the two things that I would like to see, or that are top of my mind. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I know a lot has been made about the Chiefs pass rush being poor this year and not being able to sack the quarterback, especially on third downs. I think the Chiefs, they drafted that Omar Norman lot, and he got injured earlier on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
George Karlaftis, Chris Jones, those guys, I think they're still serviceable defensive linemen. I think if you can get that Norman Lott guy healthy, maybe if you could spend a little money, maybe there's a defensive lineman out there that you're not maybe rolling the dice on as much as going with the draft pick. But I think the offense and giving Patrick Mahomes weapons to me is the most important thing. You mentioned Rashee Rice. He was pretty good when he came back until teams started playing man coverage on him, and then he wasn't so good. Let's hope change maybe at wide receivers coach helps that a little bit. Hoping that's not a fatal flaw that's been exposed, right? The teams have figured out against Rashee Rice there, but Xavier Worthy, look, man, I mean, I get that, you were hurt and the guy is tough as nails. And I'm going to tip the cap to the guy for toughing it out and playing, but I mean, you also were healthy enough to play, though, right? And so, lost year for that guy. He's got a lot to prove. I think coming back next year, I know a lot of them made about Patrick's deep ball. I mean, he was really the only guy Patrick had a hard time connecting with on the deep ball this year. Going back through Patrick's career, he really hasn't struggled with other guys when it comes to the deep ball. So, yeah, I mean, to me, I wouldn't spend money on a running back. Unless you bring in, there's a couple of guys who I feel like would be starting running backs on other teams that are going to be free agents this year if they weren't playing behind superstar guys. Tyler Algier, the backup for the Falcons. I think that guy's got some juice. I think he could be an interesting free agent running back. But, man, I don't want to tie up money in an already stretched salary cap with paying some running back $10 million a year or $8-9 million a year, like a Kenneth Walker.
No interest in that, right? Yeah,
right. Kenneth Walker was what, 3rd round draft pick. I mean, Kareem Hunt was a 5th round draft pick. Jamal Charles was a 5th round draft pick. There are lots of good running backs in the NFL that are drafted in those 2nd, 3rd, 4th rounds. Chiefs need to identify one of those guys and go draft a guy. But yeah, I'm with you. I'd be in favor of bringing Tyreek Hill back if you can make the money work. I feel like if you drafted a guy with that first pick, a good young speedster, maybe an electric, or maybe even a bigger body receiver, because you got a couple speed guys or you have a speed guy with Worthy supposedly already. I feel like if you bring back Hill, to where he doesn't have to be the guy, you draft yourself a wide receiver there in the 1st round and then get you a running back in the 2nd round. Travis Kelce comes back for another year. I don't see any reason why he can't be a top 5 tight end in the NFL again next year. I think that changes the outlook of this team completely. And that also helps the defense, right? if you can score more points and you can sustain drives and move the ball more, I think that helps freshen these guys up on the D line. And like I said, I think they got some guys. I would rather spend free agent on that pass rush. So that would be the plan if I was the Chiefs. I would go out and spend money on a pass rusher instead of gambling there, and then bring in a veteran guy like a Tyreek Hill maybe that wants to come back, that'll play on a more team-friendly deal, and draft a young guy. And if you can hit on a running back and a wide receiver in the draft, you can hit on a pass rusher and free agency, and you bring in a veteran guy like a Tyreek Hill. I know people said Mike Evans, which to me, he missed a pretty good chunk of this last year with injury. He's getting older. I mean, he's older than Tyreek Hill is. So, but get you a good veteran wide receiver, hit on a couple of guys in the draft to save up some money for pass rusher and free agent dollars, man. I think the Chiefs are right there. This team was definitely Big Doug's got a. Yeah, I mean, Hill's been. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I think Tyreek Hill wants to come back here at this point. I don't think there's any.
Right. He's like, I got my money.
He got his money. I don't think there's any doubt that the Dolphins are going to let him go. They can save a ton of money by releasing Tyreek Hill this year, so he's going to be available.
What do you think about Tyquan Thornton? Chiefs bring him back?
I mean, I would like to bring Tyquan Thornton back. He was the one guy that Patrick had a rapport with on the deep passes. But to me, man, like, and I could be wrong, but to me, he seemed like kind of like a one-trick pony, right? I mean, the Chiefs needed production out of the wide receiver position this year. Even before Rashee Rice came back, I mean, it was kind of like deep passes to Thornton, and that was it. You know what I mean? So,
right, yeah.
Bring him back if you can, and if he's willing to sign that deal. But I mean, I don't feel like you can bring him back and make him like your wide receiver 2 or 3. I think
no.
I think you saw
fourth, right on the depth chart, and I don't think that's what he's looking for based on what he said. But
no, but
he'll take whatever teams are going to offer him.
Yeah, the guy struggled in New England. Didn't really work out there. He came here, and outside of like those deep bombs, right? I mean, he really didn't do a whole lot outside of that. So I would like to have him back, but I don't think it's key. I don't think it's critical that the Chiefs bring back Tyquan Thornton. I mean, realistically, I think you'd get a younger guy that in the draft that could be a deep ball threat, and also maybe a guy that can do some work in the intermediate routes and like get those 20, 25, 30-yard pass plays back that, I mean, I know it was high flying and we called it, the people called it the Legion of Zoom when they were throwing deep passes, but a lot of that was Sammy Watkins and having guys in Tyreek Hill's prime that could also catch the ball, get open 20, 25 yards downfield and get those chunk plays on top of just the bombs and like the really, really big, long plays over the top. So, how confident? I mean, you mentioned Travis Kelce. It's looking to me like he's going to be back, right?
I mean, I don't know. When I heard him talking about Eric Bieniemy and he's like, I can't wait to get him back in the building. I'm like, well, I mean, you don't say that if you're going to retire.
Right. And he's done a couple of interviews too. He was on Jason Kelce's wife's podcast. What's her name? Kylie Kelce was on there, and she was like, I think this is, a good year to take off and then run it back next year. And Travis Kelce was like, ooh, like, I just feel like there's been hints. And with the Eric Bieniemy thing you just mentioned, and there was a report before the Super Bowl there on Sunday that I can't remember. I don't think it was Ian Rappaport, but it was one of these more well-known NFL writers, these national guys, saying that the Chiefs are hopeful to get Travis Kelce back, and they're going to be, having talks with him after the Super Bowl was over and possibly having him come back on a 1-year deal that's maybe a little bit more team friendly financially for one more go with the crew. So yeah, I mean, at this point to me, I'm operating under the assumption that he's going to be back. Yeah. It's funny to me. I feel like a lot of people just want to like move on from Travis Kelce just to be moving on from Travis Kelce. Like turn the page just to turn the page. The guy was still really productive this year. And if you let Travis Kelce go, and you're talking about trying to get more out of the offense, and you need this at wide receiver, and you need
Who
this
do you
at
have
running
that's going
back,
to replace him?
right? I mean, you just are automatically going to draft some guy. I mean, if you're planning on spending your first and second, or one of your first and second and third round picks on a pass rusher and a running back and a wide receiver, you're just going to go out and find a top 5 tight end later in the draft or through free agency. I don't think that's going to happen. So,
Yeah, no Gray. He ain't going to be that guy.
He didn't step up and make that leap, and I think a lot of people were kind of expecting or hoping for this year. So, yeah, man. I mean, I think this team. I think they kind of need Travis Kelce back next year. You got a hole at running back, and you've got a hole at wide receiver, and now you want to create a hole at tight end unnecessarily. To me, that just does not make sense. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, yeah, well, as long as Travis Kelce's on the team, you're going to run the offense through him." Well, we were in a position this year where I think they were trying to not run the offense through him, but you didn't have Rashee Rice for 6 weeks, and Xavier Worthy got hurt and wasn't able to step up and be that guy. So I think you can have Travis Kelce, even if you can have him at 80, 85% of what he was this year, next year. There's still plenty of room for growth in the offense on top of what you had with Travis Kelce this year. So, yeah, man. What do you think they do? I mean, you think they get somebody? What do you think they're going to end up doing? I mean, Breece Hall, man, like I want to find whoever it was that put out that fucking post leading up to the trade deadline this year, and just like all of a sudden Breece Hall was like, oh my God, the Chiefs got to get Breece Hall. Breece Hall is like a good running back, but I mean, his career yards per run is like 0.1 yards better than Isaiah Pacheco's. He's a better receiving back, but I mean, to me, like paying what you're going to have to pay to get a guy like Breece Hall, you're going to be overpaying for that guy, in my opinion.
Right. No, look, if you're looking to invest that kind of money in a free agent, you should be looking for a tight end free agent, right? So yeah, look, I think that the Chiefs should, they got Gray and they've got Kelce. If they can rework, his deal and get him back, and he decides to come back, it sounds like he's going to. And then I think that this year it's like you focus on your wide receiver room and your running backs and your defensive line, and then next year you can draft tight end, right?
Yeah.
Right. I don't know who's available, and who will be available, who's looking like they're going to come out. But to me, that's kind of what I would do if I was in the situation where I got to, construct the team. So that's, I don't know. That's what I think the Chiefs should do. They got top 3 production for the position out of Travis Kelce. If they can do that again next year, or if it goes away, he's only the top 5 tight end, but they can upgrade significantly at the wide receiver position, either through, getting like Tyreek Hill or drafting somebody, or just getting better production because they've, updated their coaching staff there. I think that's fine, right? That's having a top 5 tight end is great, especially if it's Travis Kelce, because that in the postseason, you've got somebody with a lot of experience and leadership. So,
yeah, I think we're on the same page as far as what we would like to see. I think they're going to be smart this offseason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, God, dude, the Breece Hall's talk to me is insane. People talk about that dude like he's Jahmyr Gibbs or something. Instantly gonna make the offense like it was before, back in.
People get attached to ideas, man.
Right, and someone puts it on X, and so all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, this guy. Oh my god, this guy. I don't get it with the Breece Hall thing, man. Like I said, people talk about that guy he's I don't think he's not a top 5 running back in the NFL. I mean, Christian McCaffrey.
Sam Darnold got away from the Jets and won a Super Bowl.
Right. I mean, I would put Jahmyr Gibbs. I would put Christian McCaffrey. I'd put Bijan Robinson ahead of Breece Hall. I mean, who else am I missing there? Saquon Barkley. I put him. ahead of Breece Hall. I'd put Derrick Henry ahead of Breece Hall. There are a number of guys, man. Like,
yeah.
And I feel like to get Breece Hall, I feel like you're gonna have to pay him top 5 or 10 money when he's good, but you should be able to find a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round to give you Breece Hall production for a fraction of what it's going to cost to pay Breece Hall. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see. But I don't know. Anybody in the chat got any questions or, I mean, anything you wanted to get to, Nick? Anything else?
I guess there's been some talk about Max Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
He's done with the Raiders.
Yeah.
Would you? It won't happen because there's no way they'd trade him to a division rival, especially the Chiefs. But if it were on the table, would you want to see the Chiefs entertain a trade to get him on the team?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's like a can't miss instant pass rush. I mean, I think you automatically solve that problem with bringing in a guy like Max Crosby. But like you said, the Raiders are not going to trade Max Crosby.
Even with what it would cost to bring him in, I guess is my point, right?
I mean, what is it going to cost? 1st and a 3rd?
Well, and then like the cap space that you'd have to probably, cut somebody else, right?
I mean, yeah, I'd be in favor of bringing the guy over. But I don't know, like, I guess I'd have to revisit maybe that question after you see like what he goes for, like what somebody else gives up, because I know
$35 million salary cap hit for the Raiders in 2026. $30 million is the salary. So you'd be taking that contract over for at least $30 million.
I mean, you get rid of Juwan Taylor, that saves you $20 million.
There you
go. If you can make the money work, absolutely, dude. Like,
right.
I would bring him in. But again, I'd have to see like how many draft picks you're going to give up for him. There's people saying, "Oh, well, it's going to be at least the Micah Parsons deal that the Cowboys made with the Packers, which was what, 2 firsts and a 3rd round pick." I don't know that I'd give up 2 first round picks for the guy, but
yeah,
if you give up a 1st and a 3rd and make the money work, absolutely, I'd bring that guy in.
The other thing that I wanted to talk about, so on the X-verse or Twitter sphere or whatever, since the Super Bowl, there's been kind of a shift in tone for a certain fan base in how they perceive Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs now.
Yeah.
So are you ready to forgive the Patriots fans and join forces with Chiefs Kingdom?
No, I'm not. I feel like, to me, and they're saying that it's rooted in like the enemy of my enemy. And after all the whining the Bills fans did this year after the season, that's every year. They whine and cry and try and get the rules changed every year. It's been like that for 5 years. Why now are all of a sudden Patriots fans like down with the Chiefs, or I'll ride with the Chiefs now? Like, I think it's because they gave Patrick Mahomes a bunch of shit for his playoff performances and then saw their guy play under similar circumstances and don't want to like put the blame on him. And I'm not putting the blame on Drake May 100%. The guy, he was not put in a position to succeed.
No.
And to be successful in that Super Bowl.
Especially for his age and his experience level, right?
Right. Yeah. No.
I'm not going to be. No quarterback's going to succeed when you're getting pressured 20 times in a game.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to be linking arms with Patriots fans moving forward, if that's the question. I mean, are you?
So one of the guys that I don't work with him, but one of the guys I interact with through work is a Patriots fan. And before the game, I was like, "Hey man, good luck." He's like, "That's weird hearing that from a Chiefs fan." And I was like, "Look, so here's the deal. Like, I don't see why we fight with each other. We should just join forces and then like laugh at the rest of the league and be like, yeah, well, like we've got the great quarterbacks. We had the great quarterbacks on our team and you didn't." Yeah. Like, so I don't know. I don't hate any fan base. I think that like it's just like anything else. You've got 10% of any fan base that is making everybody else look awful. I will say that this year, especially with the Bills fans, and has been.
I don't think it's any different. They're like
yeah,
this every
it
year,
seems
man.
like it's been more unbearable to me though, because geez, I mean, it's like you didn't even beat Bo Nix to go to the AFC Championship game. You didn't make it to the AFC Championship game, and so I don't know. It seems more unbearable, but yeah, I don't think you're going to see a long-term shift for the fan bases to start.
They didn't make it to the
singing
AFC
in drum
Championship
circles.
game when they lost to the Bengals a few years ago. I mean, they whine and cry and throw a fit and say if this and if that and if the rules were changed or if this, or if they measured the ball better or if we would have got that, if they would have gave us that first down we got in the championship game against the Chiefs a couple of years ago. I mean, I don't think it's really any different this year than it's been the last 4 or 5 years with them.
Yeah, maybe
a bunch
not.
of what ifs and excuses and whining and crying about the rules or calls, right? I mean, how is this year any different than the year where we got the first down? I mean, no, you didn't. I mean, that was a catch. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's been a little noisier, but I mean, to me, it's like, oh, well, we got to change overtime rules. And, we got that first down. Oh, we got this catch. Oh, that's not. I mean,
I think the whining
we
has
didn't
been
get the
the
ball
same
in
level.
overtime. I mean, if we would have got the ball in overtime, if the rules were better, if the overtime rule didn't. Every year it's excuses and what ifs with them, man. Like I just don't.
I think that the whining has been the same, but if you look at the circumstances, it's like, okay, so, but yeah, Josh Allen also had 4 turnovers in that game, and you're playing the, Bo Nix, not Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes or, you know what I mean? Like you're not like, so.
I mean, I think it's definitely like more. I mean, it's definitely like more like disappointing or frustrating, but to me, like their reaction, the way they've acted, I mean, that's on brand for them.
So one of the other things is they say that, the Bills losing the divisional round is preferable to what happened with the Patriots in the Super Bowl. How do you feel about that?
What's that? I'm sorry, you cut out for a second.
Losing in the divisional round is much better than getting blown out or, having a bad Super Bowl performance like the Patriots had.
Man, I don't know. It's not fun going to the Super Bowl and getting blown out. That's not a good time. But I guess you still get to celebrate the AFC Championship, and you still get to look forward to this, be more excited about the Super Bowl. So I don't know. I go back and forth, I guess, on that, whether it's better or not to go and get your ass kicked, not go at all.
I guess I'll just have to defer to their expertise because
right.
They've lost a lot of playoff games and they've lost a lot of Super Bowls. So,
right, yeah.
Who else would know better than Bills fans?
Right, yeah. 0-4 all time, right? Super Bowls.
And against Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
And against Patrick Mahomes. So, I don't know. Josh Allen ain't getting any younger. And he depends on his running a lot. Once those legs start to go, the decline is going to be faster for him than it would be for a lot of these other guys like a Joe Burrow or a Patrick Mahomes. Matthew Stafford, right? Someone that can really sling it and throw the ball well. So, yeah, interesting season, no doubt. We really appreciate everybody who watched this year. Just makes the season and being a fan of this team that much more fun. A little bit different year this year than we've been accustomed to on this show as far as the way the season ended and the Patrick Mahomes injury. So, but by all accounts, Patrick Mahomes is doing good and is on schedule or slightly ahead of schedule with his rehab. So, yeah, really just thank everybody for watching the show this year and coming on here every week with us. I know I enjoy it and I look forward to it, but we're not done. Man, we got free agency coming up, and we say this every year, right? It's free agency and then the draft, and next thing you know, it'll be OTAs and it'll be July and the training camp will be getting underway and you'll be having preseason games and it'll be week 1, but not football season yet, Laney, but it's never really that far away. And hey, we got Royals baseball coming up here pretty soon. Boys in Blue looking to build off of a winning season last year, right? And so they should be in the thick of it. Looking forward to some nights, warm nights out on the deck with radio, with the baseball on the radio. So thank you again, everybody, for watching. Really, really appreciate it. Means a lot to us that you'd come in here and give a damn what we have to say about the Chiefs. So I know, Nick, you share that sentiment, and I know Bo does as well. So not sure if we'll have a show next week or not. It'll probably, for the next several weeks, will depend on what all happens with the Chiefs and whether there's big news or not. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Really, really had a fun time this year. I know the team didn't perform the way we were accustomed to and the way we hoped, and the season really didn't turn out for Chiefs Kingdom the way we anticipated it or would have liked to. But sometimes you got to take the good with the bad, right? So thanks again to everybody who watched. We might be back next week, but maybe the week after that, it's going to tell on Chiefs news. Until next time, let's go Chiefs.
All right, let's go Chiefs.